today I am doing a graphic art video, which is very exciting because I've not done one before. I'm doing album covers, record covers, but we go from like A to Z. This is for like the artist names, so for example A for Ariana Grande. I'm very excited to show you all of the outcomes I've made because I'm very proud of them all. I've not done them all yet, but I've done like a lot. In this video you're going to see 5 of them. You get some tips along the way of how I do things. So if you're into graphic art as well, you can just take what you want. Anyway, I'm just going to stop yapping and we're going to get into the video. For A, I decided to make an Ariana Grande cover for her album Sweetener, even though it came out years ago, but it's fine. Right now, I'm just altering the brightness and the saturation on the mirror to make it match the vibe of the background, even though I end up changing it anyway, but it doesn't matter. I put Ariana Grande inside of the mirror, crazy stuff, I know, and then put her upside down to match the original cover. I duplicate her, so you can see her head like poking out of the frame, to make it just look kind of more portally, and then I erase the extra stuff that I don't want. It was kind of hard to make a better cover since I love the original one so much, even though it's basic, but sometimes that's like the best option and it's iconic. It's an iconic cover. Right now I'm altering the brightness and stuff again to make it match the vibes, as I said before. I do end up actually going for a pinky and orangey tone to match the original one, but yeah, instead of this like cool tone, I add shadows inside the mirror to make it look like it's popping out of the background. Comment which one's your favourite at the end of the video, because I would really love to know. I'm going from A to E. Right now I'm typing Sweetener in the corner, in the iconic lowercase lettering that she does for albums now, and Ariana Grande in the other corner. And if you're wondering what these black textures are, it's just, yeah, the black images are just textures that I put on, that I find off Pinterest. You can find loads of Pinterest, and I erase the black using the background remover tool, and then I just lower the opacity, change blend mode to make it look like it's like, I don't know, it looks real, more real, I don't know, yeah, change blend modes, blah 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 blah. I personally love this outcome I made. I made a similar one at school, but it was like inspired by G-Dragon instead. If you actually want to see more graphic designs I make, I'll link my Instagram in the description. It's my second Instagram, also go follow my main, which I'll also link. Now let's move on to the next final cover design, B. For B, I decided on Big Bang and started by making 4 rectangles on the canvas to represent 4 of the members of the group. To clip them inside the rectangles, use a clipping mask. I also do know that TOP isn't in Big Bang anymore, but I did want this to look a certain way, and obviously didn't want to add the other member because he's a weirdo, so I added Top. I was originally also going to do the designated albums for the seasons, but I decided on seasonal colours instead. Obviously, Taeyang Spring, G-Dragon Summer, Daesung Autumn, and TOP Winter. I also used a gradient map to colour them, which you can find in the little symbol near the layers section. Looks like a yin yang, I don't know. I got their logo off the internet, put it along the side to fill the gap, and then I used a clipping mask to colour it white so the background could be black. I really love this cover and I wouldn't do much to change anything about it. I love the idea and the thought behind it. It just looks so nice looking. I then added the names at the top of like each rectangle using the transform tool to stretch it out. Yeah, we did it on each. So Taeyang, G-Dragon, Daesung, and TOP, which is next, which is Winter. Yeah. So put them at the top. Top, get it? Anyway, shut up. I then added the evil textures again, but I only added 1 and changed the opacities and the blend mode as usual. I did take a long time to do this one. I couldn't choose which one I wanted. I was very picky about it. I then added a colour halftone to it, which I do this a lot, I don't know why, but it just looks better, and also added a dust and speckle filter. Now let's move on to C. For C, I chose Charlie XCX. I don't really listen to much of her music, but I had no one else to do, so I just chose Charlie. If you have any music recommendations for her, I'd be more than happy to take them. Just leave them in the comments below, because I don't really listen to her, and I need more music. I made the background the iconic Brat green, because take a guess, I'm doing a Brat cover. I then use another gradient map and a clipping mask to make it black and white, so she just, pops out against the green background. I just, I adjust it and try and make her look as cartoony as possible. I then move it to the side, size her up, so I can just start writing the word brat over and over and over again. Yeah, I don't know why I did this, but I did. Size it up, also size her up, because she needs to be closer to the screen apparently. I then added a wind texture to her layer only to make it look kind of glitchy. Then also add textures, and then change blend mode and opacities yet again. I also will be posting these on my Instagram, my second Instagram. So my second Instagram and my first Instagram, so if you want to look closer, they'll be there. Link in this description, as I said before. I also post my life on my first Instagram and what I'm up to, so if you're interested, just go check it out, because I need more Instagram followers, okay? I don't need them, but I want them, and if you're nice, you will do that for me, okay? Now I'm adding a colour halftone and noise filters again. Now let's move on to what I do for D. For D, I decided on Doja Cat for her V album, if that's how you say it, I don't know. I decided on a quite simple choice for this cover. It's not my favourite, but not my least favourite, I'll tell you that. I'm start just altering the brightness, hue, saturation, all of that, and this goes on for like an hour for some reason. I found this album out a couple weeks ago actually, and it is so good. I think Jealous Type is definitely my favourite song off the album, but I like Cards too. I also definitely prefer her official cover to mine. Mine's just a bit boring, I don't know. I had her name and the album cover in the corner, and then like use clipping mask to colour them both in black, like later on, and then size it up. Yeah. I was very picky of how I wanted this to go. Like, I feel like I could have done so much better. I really kind of wish I did Planet Her, so I could do a kind of galaxy theme, but can't turn back time now, really, can you? I do end up adding a rainbow, but I do end up changing it, so this isn't the official rainbow. But I do the same process. I add it, change the blend mode, and change the opacity. Yeah. I've really liked Doja Cat for a long time, like 2023 till now. Yeah, this is the rainbow I was talking about. I changed it for some reason. I do prefer this rainbow though. It looks really cute. I don't know why it's backwards though. Why is it purple first? I don't know. But I feel like it did need the rainbow across the face. It definitely did, because it just brings it all together. Like, it looks so cute. I love it. It definitely needed it. 100% was necessary. Changing blend modes again, obviously, because I do that all the time. It just looks better. Yeah, and merge it all together. Yeah, I then decided to do the textures again for a more worn look. I do a lot more layers of them. Change blend modes. I usually choose overlay, but sometimes I do choose different ones, but overlay is usually my go-to. More textures. I need it to look more worn, you know, like old vinyl covers, when like really old, like not really old, but just older ones. And then yeah, obviously change the panels and stuff like that, and then I add a little plastic cover over it, so it looks like it's covered. I've then obviously used the halftone and noise and blah 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 filters again. Yeah. And the dust and speckles one. Yeah. Now let's move on to E. Last but not least, I chose Elita for E because I wanted to do a kind of creepy cover. I used a spot healing brush to remove her nose and lips, so it's just her eyes out of there, staring into your soul or something evil. Anyway, yeah, I remove the background and make it black so she blends in. When I make the gradient map, I make her bright teal. Make her a bright teal color. And then I just use that for the rest of the cover. I really like how this gradient map turned out. I size her up and move her to the side so I can write next to her. I sized her up, but then I moved it. The album I chose to do was Hell Hill, and I made the text the same color as her, so it's all cohesive. And I chose that font because, I don't know, it looked really cool. And then I wrote Elita at the bottom, obviously, too. Yeah, it looks so cute. I love it. I didn't know it was the middle, it was confusing me. Anyway, I added a halftone filter to it again, and obviously the textures again. If you listen to Elita, what is your favourite song? Mine's probably like Sour Switchblade, but I know it's kind of basic and I sound like such a poser. Yeah, but it's a good song. Like you can't. Anyway, this is all the colours I'm doing today. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe, like, whatever. Mwah.